Pick a side, Elena. Pick a side.
There are so many things that we need to get to before we get to ChatGPT. I had a literal professor at UCF in the freaking College of Computer Science could not exit out of a full screen Chrome window. And he's teaching me web design.
X Factor, episode 18. We're legal.
What do you mean we're legal?
We're 18.
Oh, I was thinking Pride Month. Happy Pride Month. I was like,
we got the drinks, rainbow colored glasses.
Yes, it looks so cute. Rainbow sherbet inspired Berliner style.
The beige matches our fits.
Do you think people notice that we match every episode?
I don't know. Every episode we match. Look back. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it's kind of clever.
Yes, Maine hoodie is my favorite.
That was like the third or fourth episode.
Yeah, Maine hoodie.
She's wearing a hoodie from Maine, the state, and I'm wearing my merch, my Maine hoodie, the hoodie I wear all the time.
The Maine,
bro,
yes.
So good.
Anyway, cheers.
Let's try it out.
It doesn't say that it's a sour. Why would they say that it's a sour?
It says rainbow sherbet inspired fruit beer.
Okay, it is good. It's just a freaking sour. No one told me.
Okay, how do you say the word sherbet?
I say sherbet, but I'm pretty sure I know how to. Okay, in Albanian.
I know it's your first episode, but you got to talk to that side, brother.
What? No, the fucking.
Why is it slanted towards you?
Oh, you know what? I have beef with you. Every time I come in here and I put this damn headset on, I have to readjust it to my head. Who you filming podcasts with? Who's touching my mic? This is my mic.
That's actually weird. I don't know, to be honest. Mm-hmm. I think I know why.
Typical man. He's like, a ghost did it. I don't freaking I don't know. It wasn't me. Anyway, we have a few shout outs to begin.
Shout out. I don't know who.
Shout out Alex. He told us it'd be homophobic of us. Shout him out. So shout out Alex.
He's like, you have to shout me out on Pride Month.
No, literally. He's like, I'm just waiting to be mentioned. I'm like, you don't even listen. We should have waited for the shout outs till halfway through and been like, oh, if he mentioned it ever again, I've been like, oh, that's crazy.
Smart. All right, what's the next shout out?
Nole, my cousin. Have we shouted him out yet?
I think we talked about him a couple times.
Okay, I just miss him. I'm gonna see him in like a month. I don't think he's watching these podcasts anymore either. But
he texted me a paragraph for my birthday.
Okay, then he's watching.
Speaking of my birthday, that was this past week. The birthday episode was last week.
Yeah,
I had so much fun this weekend, for sure. A lot of festivities and just a lot of good friends, and it was awesome. My parents came to like my birthday dinner thing, kind of.
Isn't that such a flex now? Like
yeah, right. We were talking about that. It's like,
great.
Back in the day, it was like your worst nightmare. You're like,
yeah,
my parents can't come.
Yeah.
Don't even show up. Matter of fact, drop me off around the block. I will walk.
Okay, I was never that bad, but yeah.
Yeah, me neither, but
still, no, I get it. Like parents hanging out with you, it'd be kind of weird.
I was at CVS one time. Yeah, I was at CVS one time, and this mom was like in front of me, and she had like a teenage girl, and she said something. The mom said, "You are so sick right now."
I'm so sorry. I've been on my deathbed this last week, and so like it was gonna come out at some time.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Keep going. I'm sorry. That was horrible.
Anyways, she said the mom said something super like normal. And the girl was like, oh, like rolled her eyes and like walked away. And she told the cashier, she's like, I miss the days where like everything I said wasn't stupid or something like that.
I told you it's freaking biological, dude. We talked about this last week. Pretty sure.
Hey man, I was never like that.
I wasn't that bad, but I definitely went through the phase of like, Mom, what are you saying? Like, but especially not in public. I would never. Well, that might be a culture thing. I think I would not have seen like my 18th birthday if I ever.
My mom just told this story recently. She used to tell me as a kid, she was like, I will never embarrass you in public unless you embarrass me.
Oh,
and so
Mom.
Whenever like one of us would act up, usually Vaughn, because I was very well behaved.
Yeah,
you know.
It's always the second sibling. Zana is crazy, laying on the street and stuff.
Yeah, it's every other one, at least for me.
Oh well, we're only three.
So is Rena the same as you?
No, yeah, she's more like me. Yeah. Good point.
So whenever I would like act up or whatever, Vaughn would act up, she'd like lean in, she'd be like, are you embarrassing me right now? And be like,
that's psychological warfare right there. She said, are you embarrassing me? Oh my God.
Because that quick question, like, oh no.
Well, I'm trying to remember if we talked about this last episode. I'm telling you, my dad would literally, like, Zana would lay in the middle of the road. We're crossing an intersection, and she would lay down to throw a tantrum when she was like 3 years old, and my dad would just lay down right next to her. And it's like, what a public like display. I think that's insane. But
yeah. But anyways, this year I got 3 things that I want to work on this year, and I sent them to you. But I just want to say this publicly so that I can like, you know, make it happen. The first one is I want to weigh 215 pounds. Right now I'm 190. It fluctuates so much, but 197.
Yeah, okay.
So gaining 18 pounds in a year, that's not crazy.
Like, just hang with me, bro. I got you.
Secondly, I want to become fluent in Spanish.
Okay.
Gonna happen.
Did you listen to the podcast?
I did, yeah. The first episode, it was all in English.
Yeah,
It was just like the introduction.
I know. So this podcast that I've been listening to, because I think, actually, you know what? Finish your third.
No, go ahead.
Okay. So this podcast I've been listening to a little bit. I stopped like probably 8 episodes in, and I need to get back into it. But basically, it teaches you Spanish. But the way that he teaches you Spanish is he describes the life of this bee. And basically, it's just like it makes this mental image of where words are in your head. So it's like, oh, like he lives in this planet, and like, okay, there's this amusement park, and at this amusement park are all of the like I'm trying to think, like all of the nouns or something.
Cool, yeah.
Like it just like you travel through this life of this little bee, and he like explains it. And also what I really like about this is like it really, really fixes your pronunciation. So like a lot of people when they speak Spanish, and again, I'm not fluent in Spanish. I'm getting there, but I'm not fluent yet. For example, like anytime a sentence or a word ends with O, like it's Joel for I. It's Joel. It's not Joe. But like people in English, when they describe it, they'll be like Joe, or like it's de, not day. And he corrects you like in this podcast. It's really good. I wish I had the name of it, and like, do we link things below? We'll link it below. Like, I don't know. It's really cool.
Yeah, I can do that.
I actually really, really like it. And so I want to like pursue that. And also the other second way that I'm going to start learning Spanish, when you sent me your 3 goals, I made 3 goals in my head too. And one of them is being fluent in Spanish. And the second thing that I'm going to do is I already ordered, apparently.
Become 215 pounds.
First thing I'm going to do is become 215 pounds and kill myself. No, but to learn Spanish, the best way that they say to learn is reading while listening. So I got the first Twilight book because duh.
In Spanish?
Yeah, first Twilight book in Spanish, and I'm going to go through it really freaking slowly and read it.
What's it called?
I don't want to say it because what if I say it wrong? Crepúsculo, I think. I don't know.
Okay.
You know what? Bleep that out. But yeah, and also I do this thing when I get shy about speaking it, I'll put a like English accent on it, even though I can say it with a better Spanish accent, but I'm like embarrassed.
You know what? I guarantee you though, even fluent Spanish speakers might not know how to say that in Spanish.
Yeah. So
that's just a weird word. Twilight. We don't say that in English.
I know. I asked Karen. I was like, "What does that mean?" She was like, "Twilight." I was like, "Okay." Well, no one freaking says Twilight, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I don't use the word what time of day is it? Let's meet at twilight. No, like it's sunset or nothing, buddy.
She knew it once you said it, but I wonder if you asked her if she would know.
What is twilight?
Maybe not.
No freaking way.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm sorry. Continue.
Third goal is to have a certain amount of savings in my savings account.
We have the same goals. I'll change my first one. I'll change my first one. I don't want to gain 215.
You want to get down from 215.
First of all, no, I want to do 1 pull-up. If I can do 1, I know that it'll be more, but I think 1 is a realistic, like really good goal.
You could do that in 2 months. Guarantee you.
I don't think that's true.
I totally think it's true.
Okay, well, slay. Okay, then should I up it to 5?
You're
like, let's stick with 1.
Yeah, 5 is good. In a year, you could probably do freaking 20.
It's not a year for me.
Till your next birthday. These are all on my timeline. You're like, by your next birthday.
By your next birthday.
Today I was at the gym with Jamie and Jackie, and Jackie goes, "Come on, Jamie, don't you want to be skinny by my birthday?"
What is your birthday?
It's next month, but it's just funny that like that's her timestamp.
Like everything revolves around my birthday. Yeah. Good for her. Me too, girl.
Because usually people are like, summer, your birthday. You're like, don't you want to be skinny by my birthday?
That's pretty funny.
Oh, so good, dude. All right, we're wearing beige outfits.
Yes. Okay. So There's this trend on TikTok, and I could have sworn we talked about this before, but basically it's called a beige flag. You know how people always come up with like dumbass stuff? This is kind of one of those dumbass things, but it's interesting. So basically,
by the way, I actually don't know. I don't know what this is. I meant to look it up before today, but I didn't.
Okay, well, I'll explain.
I've seen videos, but I'm still confused.
So a beige flag is not a red flag. It's not a green flag either, but it's not a red flag. It's just something that makes you like stop and you're like, huh. And then you like move on with your life. You're like, okay, that's just like a quirk. But like it's enough to make you pause.
It's just like what?
It's a quirk.
Oh, okay.
Did I say it weird?
I heard something else. Go ahead.
Well, no. But it's just like, it's something weird. So for example, this one girl was like, my boyfriend's beige flag is that he's a professional gaslighter. She's like, he will sit there and he will convince like strangers or like our friends, like a random story. Like they'll be like, oh, they'll ask like, for example, last week I was like, do horses sleep standing up? Like I had to know this information. I didn't know it. If I was around her boyfriend, I would be like, do horses sleep standing up? And he'd launch into some weird, like, I don't know, like story or whatever, basically gaslighting me, being like, yeah, no, that's true. And then later on be like, yeah, no, I made all of that up.
Yeah.
Basically. But
it's just lying about things that are just like
and it's
no
like
reason.
not even, and like it's not even, I guess that's not technically gaslighting. That's just
no, it definitely
lying.
is. It's making someone question like the truth and reality.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Because I was like, okay. But basically, like, it's not harmful. It's not manipulative. He always is like, okay, no, it's not. I'm just kidding. But it's like enough to just be like,
That's so funny. I've known one person my entire life that does that exact same thing.
I know someone.
Oh, who?
Aaron Folds.
Oh, really?
Professional. Like he clocks in to do it.
That's so freaking
like
funny.
he shows up to work every day to do it. I swear to God.
My old boss in San Francisco, like at the company I worked for, we were homies. He was so cool. We'd go out together, whatever. We're friends. Obviously, we were professional as well, but whatever. Yeah. But dude, he would do the same exact thing. He would just say like, "Oh yeah, I know about that," and he would make this like such and you'd really be like, "Oh, okay," and then he'd be like, "No, that's not true." And for some reason, even though there's no reason to actually know that or not, you felt so stupid every time because every time I was like, damn, he got me again.
The problem with me is like my memory is so bad that years later I'll be like, I know that he said he was kidding, but was he? Like, is this real?
I feel like
is this a fact in my brain?
You wouldn't remember the conversation. I think a week later you'd be like, guess what, guys? I heard.
I am a story repeater. If you tell me a fact, everybody knows it and it's coming from me. Like I'm literally like, guys, guess what I know? Like,
yeah, 100%.
But no, I think I have a beige flag. I don't know if it's necessarily a beige flag. It might just be an annoying habit I have. Mm-hmm. I do this thing where I'll launch into a story that we talked about earlier with no context. Like, okay, you could be like, hey, what's the plan for like camping later? And I will be like, or whatever. And we'll move on. We'll go about our day. 2 hours later, like we're still talking and I'll be like, I do think that we should like really get an early start, blah, 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 randomly, like no context. There's nothing, there's no segue into this conversation. I know that there's a segue. In my brain, I make these links. I'm like, okay, like, I don't know. You talk about grass and I'm like, oh, grass is outdoors. Oh, outdoors camping. Okay, well, this is the plan. And I'm just
saying, you know how there's two ways of thinking with words and with...
Yeah, I won't.
I don't know because you continue the conversation out loud.
No. No, in my brain, you say grass, I see grass. And then I'm like, outdoors, I see camping, and I'm like, camping.
But I'm just saying it's quiet, and you are having like an internal dialogue in your head.
No, there's no internal dialogue.
I don't know.
There's no words.
Maybe.
How are you saying maybe? How can you tell me maybe? It's in my head. Sense. You just can't comprehend that people don't think in words.
I guess maybe. Sometimes I notice my brother does this a lot. Like he'll be thinking, and I will see his mouth moving.
Okay, don't talk about mouth moving because this is a weird thing I do too. I freaking my mouth does move. I think when I read and I write, mainly when I write, but I'm not saying words. I don't know what it is. I don't know. It's freaking weird, but that's actually so funny that you point that out. Yeah. Well, is he talking to himself?
Yeah.
He
he's
like
saying
that?
Full on words. Like he's literally like, and then, well, I'm like no verbal, but there's like just like moving words.
It. See, I don't think that.
And sometimes it'll be a little bit audible. Like I can hear it.
I have to force it. Like if I have to think of a conversation between two people, I have to like force it.
So weird. When I was like probably 10 years old, I was thinking, those like, not parkour, but those things you're like strapped up and then you have to like walk across these obstacles and it's like really high. But you are, no, not zip line. You are,
but you're strapped
zip line.
Yeah.
But you're literally walking on logs.
Like Wonderworks,
and like
they do that.
Yeah. I was thinking about that. It was like just dead silence with my mom. And I was like, and again, she was just like working, and I was just like in my head like, do you think like if you fell, you would fall from like that? Do you think you would fall down that much since you're strapped up? And she's like,
what are you talking about, lady? Or what? Oh, lady. I don't know where I came. 3 sips of alcohol, dude. We're allies. Forgot to mention. But anyways, no, that's my beige flag, I think. I don't think it's anything bad.
Wait, what's the beige flag? I don't get it. No, what's beige
flag?
What did you say yours was?
I just bring shit up with no context. Like there's no segue into a different conversation. I'm just there. You need to catch up or you get like left behind. But I don't think that's necessarily a beige flag. I just think it's annoying.
Interesting.
What do you think is a beige flag?
So what? A beige flag is something you notice and you kind of like are skeptical about, but you're like,
Well, it could be something bad, but it's not.
Okay. Did you see this week Apple Vision? What's it called?
What? Pro 3?
Vision Pro.
Bullshit?
Yeah.
I can't believe I knew that, first of all. Good for me. I like don't believe in AR. Like VR.
You believe in VR or AR or don't?
I know AR exists. I know VR exists too. I just feel like it's such a waste of money. Like I don't think I'm ever going to be like a VR player.
Okay.
It's too much. It's too freaking much. The whole point of gaming is to relax, not move around. Like why am I?
Yeah, so this is not a gaming thing. This is like
I don't
productivity.
What?
It's literally your entire phone, your entire computer, entire whatever through this. So basically you can have a bunch of spreadsheets open, you can have a bunch of windows open, and there's nothing physically in front of you. So you can be standing up, you can be literally anywhere, like on work, typing, whatever.
The way I would be working in bed. Like
100%. You can do that. Right? But the thing is too, it's really, you can FaceTime people, but how are you going to see your face? Because you're in a thing, right? So you literally turn the goggles around one time and scan your face. Then you put them on right way, and then what the person sees is an artificial you with your real voice, but it's like moving to whatever. Also, you know what's weird? It's like a ski goggle thing here.
Yeah.
It's not see through this way, so you see, but you still see my eyes. You see digital eyes. They're fake.
It's like friggin' Wall-E. Like,
yes, dude.
Is it Wall-E?
And you know what's crazy too? Yeah.
No, it's not Wall-E. What am I thinking? Eva,
yeah.
Eva.
Yeah, you see the eyes. And you can like take pictures or record moments, but it's like AR. So you can like later on go to that same spot and click it and you can see the people like holograms.
Okay, see, I don't like that. That's like that Black Mirror episode where basically they can remember all their memories.
And they
can
know
what I'm talking about?
Yep, and rewind it and stuff.
My nightmare. Please don't. Can you imagine having that at Fuel? At a night out?
They do have that. They have security cameras. That exists.
No.
That everyone has though?
No.
Yeah, no, I would.
Oh my God.
It is.
I don't want to know. My birthday, I just remembered, like, do you ever get like war flashbacks of like times you've been really drunk and you're just like, why? My birthday, a few months ago, I take my heels off. I pull out socks from my purse, which what? I don't remember doing.
And
like,
you put them on at the bar.
Yes. No shoes. Just socks.
That's one thing.
Is it?
I have a Snapchat memory of Jamie massaging your sock foot.
Yes, she was massaging it at the bar. Ew. I have good friends, period. Shout out Jamie.
Oh my gosh. Anyways, this is what I think about the whole Apple Vision.
Okay.
I think that it's a huge thing that you put on your face. It's also $4,000 or $3,500, something like that. Really expensive.
Okay.
It's very inconvenient. I could never see people walking down the street with a freaking huge thing on their face right here, but it's very convenient. And I think people would want that, the convenience of it without the bulkiness of it.
Why don't they just freaking make it glasses? Don't they have that? Google glasses?
Yeah, it failed for whatever reason. But what I'm saying is this.
Well, actually, no, it's Apple's.
People are going to use that just for a little bit, just to see how it is and be like, wow, this is so helpful. I can look up anything. I can do whatever. Everything's right here. Dude.
You're going to be like, put it in my head.
That's what I'm saying.
Me now.
That's what I'm predicting, right? So
they're already doing it, Neuralink.
Yes, 100%. But people are scared about that because they don't know the convenience and they don't see. So once they've experienced it and they're like, hey, you can have the same thing, but in here, it'll be a lot more valid.
That it's like, that Neuralink is like, I don't know if I'm saying it right, hopefully, but that it's gonna like, it's potentially like cures like terminal illnesses, potentially like you can walk again. In those cases, 100%. If I was paralyzed and they say that like I could walk again, chip me. I want to be the first person in line, like now. So I don't know, I get it, but now, but like as a me right now,
So that's
I don't need to know.
that would be a disability that could be fixed. It could improve your life. You can do things that you previously couldn't. Ain't no way you're biting your nails on camera.
It's bothering me.
Yeah, I was like, there are cameras. Ain't no way.
Whenever I do shit, it hurts so bad. It's the biggest hang now. Whenever I do shit like that, I'm just like, hopefully he cuts me out. Not calls me out.
Okay, anyways. So that's improving your life, and it's making life as you know it more accessible.
Okay.
Right? My great aunt, I don't know if I talked about this before, but my great aunt refuses to put her credit card information, debit card information, whatever, in any of these apps.
Yes, you told me this.
PayPal, Amazon, all these
yeah.
apps, she doesn't want to do it because she's like, I don't trust the websites.
Yeah.
That's a mindset that we had 20 years ago when all these things were new.
I understand that, but this is such a different level.
But real quick,
I know that everyone's like, oh, they always say that.
Well, real quick. Now, so she still has the mindset that we did 20 years ago about, credit card information, whatever.
Yeah.
You know how inconvenient her life is now. She's so behind. She can't do Amazon. She can't do anything else. Uber Eats. She can't order. The convenience is that everyone else has is not there. So when everyone else gets this brain chip, or a lot of people, and then there are people applying for your jobs, your things 100,000 times smarter than you because the computer is all in their head. You're going to be at an inconvenience.
I'm moving to the mountains. They can't do this. They can't do a podcast with a Neuralink better than I can.
Well, Chat GPT is going to be in their head.
ChatGPT is so, dude, you can tell. Oh my, okay. Actually, great segue. Thank you for bringing this up. Went to my cousin's graduation this past weekend. Mm-hmm. This lady starts talking. First of all, why was she talking about ChatGPT? I don't know. Maybe I don't
like
understand.
A speech giver?
Yeah, like the first speech.
Okay.
All about AI. I was like, I
want to be there. I should have came.
I was literally like, she keeps talking. She's like, actually, halfway through this speech, she's been talking for 5 fucking minutes. She's like, actually, everything up until like this last sentence that she says has been written by ChatGPT. And everybody's just silent because we could all tell. We all knew. Everybody's silent. And she just goes, and then she just like, because obviously she's expecting people to applaud. And she just goes, and then people are like, okay.
Yeah.
And she continues with her speech. It was the dumbest thing ever. I was like, oh my God, we can tell. Like, we know.
I got a birthday text for my birthday, and it was like probably 6 paragraphs. And I was like, wow, this is so heartfelt. But the beginning of each paragraph was like,
furthermore.
Kind of. It was like, your outgoingness and da-da-da has inspired me. But at the same time, I was like, okay, this is still kind of nice, whatever. Yeah. And then at the end of it, same thing. It said, this was on ChatGPT. But it was very funny because that clearly they listened to the podcast.
Yes, exactly. No, they cared.
It was so personal.
Right.
And also for ChatGPT, like to say each of those paragraphs and those like things, they had to type that in.
Right, okay.
It made paragraphs off of them. It was so cool and creative and funny. And I laughed and I showed my family. They laughed too.
I don't remember what we're saying. I'm pretty sure I was just going to say, like, dude, you can tell. You could just tell when people use ChatGPT. Like, you're not slick. Like,
so
not with everything. I don't want to hear you defend it. I'm just saying this woman is talking for 5 minutes and I'm like,
bold of you to assume. I was going to agree with you. There was a lawyer in New York who literally used ChatGPT as his brief to write a brief for him.
Yeah. I hope they cooked that motherfucker up.
ChatGPT doesn't source real. It just imitates old law documents and stuff. It imitates them. So
shut up.
So under oath, he said,
God.
his opening statements or whatever it was, and then they looked up the cases and they just don't exist.
Dude, this is what I'm talking about. Oh my God, how are you that stupid?
Well, listen. This is what you're talking about. This is what I'm talking about. Because I don't think people should be being banned from ChatGPT. You should be able to learn how to use it properly. It should 100% be taught.
Cringe.
Dude.
I don't think it should be banned either. I'm just saying, like,
I went to film school
and praise it enough to be like, oh, it can replace people. It's not there.
It's not going to replace people. I went to film school and we still don't learn about social media. And social media has been around for 20 years. So no, they're not going to be taught.
Old heads are in freaking education and they hate any.
Pick a side, Elena. Pick a side. You want ChatGPT in schools or not?
I'm not. Okay.
They're embraced.
There are so many things that we need to get to before we get to ChatGPT. First of all, let's talk about any modern website. Please, just a modern website for any school. I beg of you. They don't exist. Like every freaking website is like it was made in the 90s and they didn't switch, which is true.
Yeah.
I had a literal professor at UCF in the freaking College of Computer Science could not exit out of a full screen Chrome window. Okay. So, and he's teaching me web design.
Yeah.
So I don't want to fucking hear it. Like,
That's crazy. I literally approached our old college
oh yeah.
and said that I would write a course for social media and teach it as a course.
Yeah.
It should be a major, but I said as a course, and they said you have to have a master's degree. Bro,
Like,
what?
you need to be educated. Xander's like, what?
Yeah.
Why? That's a degree.
Oh my goodness.
No, I do get it
bro.
though. I get it. Like again,
Especially for art, like for
I'm so sorry. I'm on death's doorstep right now. Is that a thing?
yeah.
Death's
Especially for the arts, bro. Like for certain things, yeah, you have to have qualifications. And I mean, for the arts, you have to be qualified too, but not like on paper. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
You should just have the experience.
Well, that was the thing.
Proven
Like,
success.
yeah, that's the thing. Like, no, actually, I'm not even gonna go down that rabbit hole. But here's the thing. I think that everybody in charge of the education system is like 100 freaking years old, which doesn't mean that does not mean that like you can't have good opinions and be innovative and be a good leader. It's just that most of them are so rigid in their ways. They're like, no, this works. We're not going to change it. And it's like, dude, technology advances every freaking day. Like, I'm behind now. Like the things that they're learning in school. I graduated in 2020. The things that they're learning in freaking college now is way ahead of where like what I learned. So like you have to like keep up with it. Like it's just ridiculous. Again, I will never freaking forget web design. He's teaching us how to design websites and he cannot exit full screen. What? I was literally he even hovered where the freaking X shows up to exit out. I'm like, oh God. So anyway, yeah, I think ChatGPT should be embraced. I think it should be taught how to be used 100%. I think kids, especially kids, if you're listening to this and you're in high school and you're using it, promise you your teachers know. They know. Like they know. You didn't magically get good at writing essays 3 quarters into the school year. Please be serious. And also they know, like, they've seen so many of you at your age. Like, and especially like if you're doing tests in class and you're like writing at a 2nd grade level and then you're like turning in theses, whatever, like they know it's not you. So,
Yeah.
I don't know. There's a way.
ChatGPT literally today kept failing me, dude. I said to type a TikTok script and it made it so like a show. It was like, welcome today to the, and I literally said, don't do an intro. I was like, this is for a TikTok. You're writing it like a show. And I was so descriptive. And I was like, this sounds like a show. I was like, for TikTok, you need to keep their attention for 3 to 5 seconds. So I need to have something, boom, right in the 3 to 5 seconds. No intro, no preface, whatever. Okay, here's the adjustment. And it did the same thing, probably 6 times.
Well, here's the thing. That's why
Disappointed.
you just need to use your own head and keep doing what you're doing.
I can't at this point. I'm
you're
so
like,
far
no,
deep. Dude.
I'm too far gone.
Yeah, I use it for an absurd amount of things.
I'm going to start using it for personal conversations.
Yeah. No, you can do that.
My friend pissed me off and blah, 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 blah. What should I say?
Yeah.
I've never used, I like barely have used this thing. I've used it for coding help like 3 times. That's it.
Yeah, you're going to be behind. Anyways, you said Neuralink can cure things, but it is also preventative. It can like see what you're prone to. It can read things in your body before it's,
I'm going to be so against Neuralink and you're going to be like signed up for the wait list.
Well, so let's say
you're like
something.
that girl on TikTok who has the chip in her hand and she's like, fucking look at me. I can open doors without touching them. Like,
let's say that you had a family history of like literally anything, cancer, diabetes, whatever. Neuralink will tell you if you're prone to it, what you should avoid, what you should,
You know what else can tell you? Doctors. When you go
No, they can't.
Yes, they can.
They literally can't.
They can.
Nope.
There's so many tests to check for markers. There's tests before you're even born to see
I'm just
if
saying,
you're prone to something.
I have a friend and we have a friend and she keeps going to doctor appointments and they're straight up say, we don't know.
Okay.
Huh? You don't know?
But the chip in your brain is also not going to know what's wrong.
It's going to be able to read so many more synapses and signals and all that stuff. It's going to be able to read it so much better.
This person.
What?
You're like, just hold out for Neuralink. You're good.
I'm just saying, if you have an illness like that, it would be way worth doing.
Yes, I already actually agreed to this.
Okay.
When we started this conversation, I said I'd be the first. I'd be like, put a chip in me now.
Yeah, if you already had something.
Correct.
But if you have a family history of it?
No. Again.
That's gonna be crazy. Dude, we're gonna be sitting on this podcast and you're gonna be like, what was it called? And we'll be like, yeah, you're not gonna be able to keep up a conversation. We're not going to be able to relate. We are not the same.
You know?
It's kind of how it is now.
Shut up. If you get the freaking Neuralink and eventually nobody's going to talk anymore. So we're going to evolve out of using vocal cords because it's just going to be silent communication. So I'm going to sit here talking like
You're
a
gonna
normal
be
person.
so left
and you're
out.
going to be like,
You're going to be so left out. Guess
zing,
what?
zing,
You're going
exactly.
to go to your family and be like, say something in Albanian and be like, I literally know that language. I know every language.
that's a nightmare. I talk so much shit in Albanian, like so much about people. Okay. Hold. Not
Say that one more
close
time.
people
We
in
have
front of them. No, people in public.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
I'm like, God, that's also why I want to learn Spanish. That's why we need to know Spanish.
Yeah, 100%.
There's a lot of people that speak
way
Spanish.
more.
But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Around the white folk, we
Anyways, guess what?
What?
People are going to make languages just to trick
They could do that now.
Yeah, no, but there's no point to.
To
You know what I
trick
mean?
the Neuralink?
Yes, there will be like 10 times more languages in the world.
So cool.
We'll be advancing. Oh my. Can you imagine that?
Yeah, just to beat something that we introduced. Like,
Yeah.
we could just chill and not have to do all that work.
But do you know the computers are still going to hear it and like make patterns and be like, oh, I already know what that is? Crazy.
And then they're going to take over and we're going to be the bootstrap for AI.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm not going to do it. Over my dead freaking body, bro.
You will be dead.
No, I know. I will kill you.
Yeah. What?
I was just thinking.
Do you know?
I'm listening.
Speaking of things, this is crazy. This is good future thought. Dude, space travel, exploration. Do you know how much
Percentage of
space
space
that we've traveled,
explored?
that we've like even looked at
No.
for other life?
No.
And
Not a lot.
we can see like I don't know, like we can see, you know.
We can say very far.
I'm like, where's my Neuralink?
This is where
Yo, listen. A glass of water compared to all of the glass on Earth is what we've explored. Like one single glass of water is what we even have seen with cameras, telescopes, everything.
So tell me right now, do you believe in aliens? And if you have
0% chance any other life exists. Just kidding. No, there has to be
Oh
other
my
life.
God, Xander, my freaking heart just dropped. My stomach dropped. I was literally about to be like, how could you say they don't exist if you know that we haven't even seen a freaking teardrop of what's out there?
And do you know that we've only explored 10% of the ocean?
Yes, I do know that. The ocean floor, I believe.
Like if it's only 10% of the bro.
Also, we need to recheck that fact. But it is, I believe it is correct. Neuralink it, bro.
Yeah, see what I mean? Dude,
See what I mean?
that's literally insane. Crazy. Anyways,
well,
definitely aliens out there.
okay.
Also, there's a lot of things. No, just go ahead.
No.
I'm drunk.
No. Okay, I'm also drunk. And I'm like halfway done. I'm not even like. Anyway, actually, no, I want to go back to the beige flag thing.
Okay. Let's talk
Do you
about
want to continue
relationships.
Let's talk about crushes. What would you do if you had one? Jesus Christ. I actually have something to say about relationships.
Okay.
So I was watching How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days again. Mm-hmm. Have you seen that? Amazing rom-com. It's with, I can't remember the girl's name. Very anti-feminist of me, but it's with Matthew McConaughey. It's like one of those like classic like rom-coms. It's so freaking good. Basically what happens is, and spoiler alert, but you should all have already freaking seen this movie. She literally like, okay, well, you don't seem amused.
No, go
it's
ahead.
hilarious. It's so freaking funny. Like she starts. It's really cool. But then the next day they go out to dinner and she like, basically she literally just like tries to drive him away within 10 days by doing like all the stereotypical girl things that like girls do. And I just think that would be really fun to try.
Yeah, you should try it.
You're like, you should try it now, actually. No, but anyway, no, that's it. But another thing, speaking of relationships, is you always talk about how people have oomph or they don't.
Oh, yeah.
Please tell the audience what that means, because what the hell are you talking about?
Umph is, I don't even know how to describe umph. Umph is like a little bit of something you wouldn't expect. Like someone brings,
Razzle dazzle.
someone says something, you're like, wait, I wouldn't think they would say that. Like, you know, something that catch you off guard a little bit, something that's interesting,
Like a beige
something that,
flag?
no,
I'm kidding.
something that's like, that provides that
Provides insight for them.
introduces you to something that you haven't been introduced to before.
See,
You know what I
think
mean?
Umph that way. I think Umph is just like, that was sexy.
Yeah, it can be that. It can be personality. It can be spunk. It could be, you know, things like
Spunk
that.
is a good word.
Spunk. That's the same thing.
I'm trying
It's
to think of an
umph.
example.
No, just any like.
Give me an example of a time when you were like talking to someone, not necessarily wanted to date them, just as a person. Like you
Yeah.
don't even have to like them. You're like, oh, they have umph.
It's most of the people I surround myself with, to be honest.
But you're like, period. Only umph's allowed.
No, because like it's just I like people that can show me, or not even show me, but just like that I get a different experience from. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Someone that can provide.
So you're collecting people like Infinity Stones. You're just like, you're for this, you're for this, you're for this.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's not as intentional as that,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
it's like
yeah.
it's just they provide a different way of thinking about things, and it's just like conversation flows well, and it's just
You're like, I like my women quirky and different.
no, but it's not just a romantic thing; it's friends as
know.
well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, the people I surround myself with, I want to like learn from them. Sounds like it's a superior thing. It's not. It's just like I want to.
They just have a different outlook,
Yeah,
different way of seeing
experience
the
different
world.
things, yeah.
Yeah. They do different things. They're not like you necessarily. But I do think that it is important to share the same values. And I feel like
Yeah.
you've done a really good job of like, I would like to think I've done a pretty good job too of like, we surround ourselves with people that like our closest friends generally share the same values that we have. Like,
I was talking to my therapist, and I was saying that I was like I don't even remember what the topic was, but I like said 4 friends in this one conversation.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, like, this person, like I've known, like we grew up as neighbors. This person I knew in middle school. This person I met like sophomore year of high school. This person. And she was like, just so you know, she's like, I can tell you're a very intentional person with things in your life, because not many people can say a handful of friends that they've been friends with for 10 years.
no, I think that we're both very, very lucky to have people like that. And
Yeah.
like, I think, so I actually saw a TikTok about this today. It was like this girl and she was like, why am I always like one foot out the door with relationships? Like, why do I not know what it means to have commitment? Like, I'm just like, why can't I just commit? And she was like, her best friend was talking to her and she was like, you know how to commit. Like, you know what that means. You know how to love that long. She's like, we've been best friends for 23 years. Like, that is a relationship. And like, it is so true. Like, I mean, this is a little bit kind of off topic, but not really. It's just like, forging relationships is not, it's not only about romantic relationships, like keeping a friendship for more than 10 years for some like Emily and I've been friends for literally 20 years.
Yeah.
That's a ridiculous amount of time. And just like, it takes effort. It's not just like, doesn't just accidentally happen. Like, it's like effort on both parts. And it's like, it's really cool. I don't know.
Yeah, no, definitely. But the thing is that it is different for romantic relationships, because like the
for
title
sure,
of best
yeah.
friendship, like that comes and goes. You can be super close to someone one day and you know, the next day, maybe the next month, you don't talk as much or whatever, and it flows.
Yeah.
Relationship is the one thing that like
There's kind of accountability every day kind of thing. Yeah. No, I totally agree. It's just like, I don't know. It's interesting.
Yeah, no, definitely. I had a thought like midway through that thing.
I also had a thought. Hold on.
I know, right?
Why am I drunk right now? What is the percentage of this? We never said the 6%. That's not even a lot.
Yeah,
What
no,
the
it's just
hell?
chilling. You're sick. Your body's fighting for its life.
Okay. When I get sick, everything falls apart.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give you the laundry list of medical issues I have right now. Whatever's going on in my throat. Pneumonia, don't know. Rena's a little sick now, so you might get sick. I'm sorry. And then I didn't want to go to dinner with your grandma because I was like, maybe I'll get them sick. Too late because you. Well, no, you would have been sick by now.
Yeah, dude.
You're like, I'm freaking chilling, bro.
Dude, you say I get sick a lot, but it's crazy because you get sick way more often
I don't
than
think
I do.
that's true, but my throat is messed up right now. My ear has not unpopped from the almost at hospital from the airplane. My left big toe randomly started like oozing pus yesterday, and I was like, "What the hell is going on?" Do you want to know what happened?
Okay. Yeah, sure.
Basically, I think I've talked about it on here. I had like fake toenails a little bit, like on my big toenails because of soccer, and like one of them, I guess I didn't cut it right, and one like long freaking piece kept going. Like I didn't see it. It was like tucked into the like skin or whatever. So like I didn't even notice there's this long ass thing. I had to like, it was so bad. But anyway, it's good now. We're good. You know what you need to do? You need to like do the thing where you're reading the contract out and it was like, do that for all of this talk, and then do it for the whole monologue I did about how to lose a guy in 10 days until I was like, actually, I'm not going to get into it. Do that.
I'm dead. No, I have thoughts. It's just not camera.
One day, one more thing. One day, I want this podcast to get big, because then I will literally talk about anything. I don't care. Because if it's big enough, I'm like, it's entertainment. Like,
here's the thing. Everyone's life has characters and has drama, and it's like a movie, right? And people like movies, people like stories, people like entertainment.
Yeah.
I think we should start a podcast that's anonymous, voice changers, and we literally just talk about our lives and have different names for everyone, and then it'll just be a dramatic story, and it's, fake names.
that would feel so good, because in general, I'd like to not talk shit because I don't want to like throw names out.
Yeah.
But I have a lot of pent up anger.
Also, you could say whatever you want if it's anonymous, whatever. It's like, next day viral clip goes like, no, that was someone stole our idea.
It wasn't us. What do you mean?
Anyways, that was a good episode.
Wait, I think I had one more thing.
Okay.
I don't. Never mind.
I knew. I figures.
No, yeah. Well, I do feel like I have another thing to say.
That camera's almost dead. All right. Well, do you have something else or not?
No, I just can't wait to start live streaming, to be honest.
You already started live streaming.
No, not me personally. Us.
Oh, yeah. Facts.
Fun. Yeah.
Well, 24 days.
Please don't tell me that. Like, it literally makes me want to die.
We'll see you next week. 3 more episodes until Elena's live. I'm kidding. Okay, never mind. All right.
Stop, my mom.
It died.
Peace.
Bye.
It died.